Hello everyone, my name is Kenny Cormandy from the Airgun channel, My Airgun Reviews. As everybody knows, Google has pretty much castrated gun and airgun video revenues over the past year, and they no longer cover the cost of making these videos. I have set up a website with a description of how you can help, and I've also activated a PayPal account where people can make donations to help keep these reviews coming. I was funding them out of my own pocket, but over a year ago I was diagnosed with cancer. That has become very costly, and I can no longer afford to fund these videos out of my pocket. So if you want to make a one-time contribution or a monthly contribution, whatever you like, you just go to the description below this video, and there are links to both the website and the PayPal account. And this next review that you were going to see has been funded as much by donations as the ad revenues. My name is Kenny Cormandy, and now let's get to the next video. Welcome back, everyone. I've had a lot of people tell me quit reviewing all those cheap Chinese rifles and get a German rifle. Get a Diana or an RWS or a Wyrock or something. So I have purchased this Diana 350 N-TEC Magnum, and so everybody looking forward to a German-made airgun review. Here we go. This is the Diana 350 N-TEC Magnum. They call it a premium pellet rifle, made by Diana, imported by Air Venturi. It's claimed at 1,000 feet per second, shooting lead pellets. This gun sells for $479.99 everywhere. You cannot find it for less, you cannot find it for more. It's pretty much, that's the set price on this beast. And as shown just the way it is right now, you would have to pay $572.43 for the rifle, for the UTG droop compensator, the CV Life 6-24 by 50 millimeter adjustable objective scope, and the set of heavy-duty Nikon Weaver Picatinny rings. So there's a lot of money sitting on the table right now. You could buy a whole lot of Chinese junk for that. Anyway, this gun has a 19.5-inch barrel. Overall length is 48.5 inches, so it is a long gun. Weighs 6.7 pounds without the scope. They rated at 55 pounds cocking effort, and it was every bit of that when I've got it. This rifle's been shot well over 250 times now. And I just measured the cocking effort at 42.5 pounds right now. The trigger pull, in my opinion, is too light. I've adjusted on it some. I haven't gone into real detail in it. I could not feel any first stage in the trigger. It's very light. I got it so I could just feel the second stage, and I left it there. I didn't want to tinker with it anymore. But still very, very light. It's very easy to pull the trigger unintentionally. I measured the trigger pull 3 times, and all 3 times it came in at 13.3 ounces. It's rated at 2-pound trigger pull, but like I say, this one came in at 13.3 ounces. It has a adjustable sights for elevation and windage. They're iron sights, no fiber optics. Comes with an 11mm dovetail mount, and it has a very, very nice beach stock. This is one of the more attractive stocks you'll ever find on any pellet rifle. This gun is was designed as their centerpiece for their 125th anniversary of making air guns. So it is a special air gun. I have mounted a UTG droop compensator. It's for minimal droop, and I had a pair of heavy-duty Nikon medium height 1-inch tube rings that I used, and this is a CV Life 6-24 by 50 AO IR scope. So it does have illuminated reticle, mil dots. You will not find a better scope for less than $35 anywhere. Like I say, this gun does have a heck of a kick to it, and well over 250 shots, and the scope is performing quite well. Okay, now I said it's rated at 1,000 feet per second shooting lead pellets, and it's kind of flopped there. This gun had a low of 918.7, a high of 930.5 feet per second, averaging 924.7 feet per second, extreme spread 11.79, standard deviation 5.09, and a mere 22.6 foot-pounds muzzle energy. And the other pellets tested over the Crony, Crosman Copper Magnum, 14.5 grain, low of 841.1, high of 864.8, average 851.8, extreme spread was 23.68, which you would kind of expect from a Crosman. Standard deviation 8.94, generating 23.37 foot-pounds of energy. Now to the more accurate pellets, the H&N Hornet 16 grain had a low of 830.3, high of 839.3, average of 835.4, extreme spread was 9.04. That averaged 24.8 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. The most powerful of the hunting pellets was the H&N Terminator 16.36 grain, low of 837.9, high of 845.9, average 841.5, extreme spread was only 7.7 feet per second, standard deviation 3.16, average was 25.73 foot-pounds muzzle energy. The fastest shot generated an even 26 foot-pounds muzzle energy. And I also cronied the Gamble Match 15.43. That was the most powerful pellet. A low of 876.3, high of 892.7, average 884.4, extreme spread was 16.42, standard deviation 6.32, averaging 26.81 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. The fastest shot generated 27.31 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. So here, I'll put up the numbers so you can read them for yourself. Okay, well, I was really looking forward to this review. You know, because of donations from a lot of generous people for the airgun reviews, I went ahead and ordered this Diana, and I was both disappointed and pleased. Biggest problem was the gun was falling apart. The front sight, when I received the gun, the the front post that's got replaceable inserts for your front sight. That was missing. I later found it in the box tucked underneath one of the flaps. It just all come loose. And the stock mounting screws kept coming loose. And kept coming loose. And kept coming loose. I was getting, one time it loosened up so fast, this front screw right here just dropped right out. So, getting tired of redoing all the testing, I just went ahead and put a good coat of blue thread locker on it and just parked the gun for several days and just let it really dry good. And I finally got them to stay. I just had to let it sit for a few days and let that blue thread locker dry real good. And now all the bolts seem to stay put. This gun, it's, let's take a quick close-up look at this gun. There you can see the removable insert for the front sight. You just unscrew this and replace your replaceable front post and then put it in, and you got to get it really tight. That kept coming loose all the time, and I finally tightened it up with the pliers and it stayed put. This gun does take quite a bit of cocking effort, so I have put a foam insert over the barrel to relieve a little pressure from my hand while cocking it. Some of the ladies might like that. It's got a very nice blue barrel and kind of a shiny on the barrel, more of a satin blue finish on the stock. There's your notched rear sight, and you can see your windage and your elevation. It's got a dovetail scope rail, and this is a UTG mild droop compensator, and these are Nikon rings. They're a little spendier than the average ring, but they're pretty good. Once you get everything in place, it stays. And this is the CV Life scope, and here is your safety. In is fire, out is unsafe. There's a white dot in there that it'll only come out when you cock the gun. And this is their T06 trigger. Now this gun has a very, very nice, very unique shape. It's beach stock. I guess the checkering is laser engraved, and it's a very, very comfortable stock for shooting. Raised cheek piece. It's kind of narrowed at the bottom, kind of keeps the weight in check, and a ventilated rubber butt pad. Well, I've gone over the reasons I was irritated with the gun. I would think for that kind of money you would get something you could take out of the box, clean up and shoot. But it was a pain. Stock mounting screws come loose way too easy. I mean, I really tightened them. I was borderline stripping them, and I just had to let the gun put a good dose of thread locker on it and just let the gun sit for a couple days, let everything dry up real good, and that did the trick. So you say, what am I pleased about? And basically, once everything was glued in place and just cranked the nuts out of it so everything else would stay tight, the gun ended up being very accurate. It's a little louder than I like, shooting the RWS Hobbies 95.9 decibels, shooting the Crosman Copper Magnums 94.8, and it settled down a little bit more with the H&N Hornets 93.9, and with the Terminators down to 93.6, which is acceptable. Like to see a gun a little bit closer to 90, but no type of silencer, muzzle brake, barrel shrouding, or anything like that. So it is what it is. But you can get by with shooting something like this in the backyard, but it's not really a backyard shooter. This is a hunter. You know, once you get everything all tightened up and glued in place, it is accurate. To the point of being able to put 4 or 5 pellets through one hole. When I did the 20-yard accuracy test, the Crosman Premier Copper Magnums was the first one I shot, and I was still kind of adjusting to the trigger. I really didn't try real hard when I was just zeroing it in. Copper Magnums were kind of a throwaway, just getting used to shooting the gun. And then we went to the H&N Hornets and then the H&N Terminators, and I think you'll really like the results. So let's take a look at the 20-yard accuracy test. The last 5 shots the 5 shots that were good, will all completely cover all the pellet holes, making that smaller than a dime. And this one I didn't do a real good job there, and here you can see what the H&N Hornets did. So the gun is very accurate. So, well, there you have it. Any gun that can put 4 or 5 pellets through one hole and the other one just a 1/4 inch away at 20 yards, you can't call it anything but accurate. It's a tack driver, and if it's got decent muzzle energy, it's not a Hatsan 125 or a 135, but you know, it's got just a little bit more oomph than, say, a Benjamin Trail NPXL, and quite a bit more than say a Crosman or Benjamin NP2. It is kind of like a showpiece. Like I say, it's got a very unique, very beautiful stock. It's got a very, very light trigger. I think if you get one as light as this one is, you're going to want to actually increase the trigger pull on it a little bit. Would I spend $479.99 on this gun again for my personal use? No, I wouldn't. The barrel is just too narrow for the amount of cocking effort required. If I was just going to use this gun for hunting, yeah, maybe, but my Hatsan 125 Sniper, even though it requires more cocking effort, just that big muzzle brake on the end, that big silencer, just makes it so much easier to cock. And I think that one is just about as accurate as this one. It's, you know, I've never put 5 pellets that close together with that one, but close. I mean, at 25, 30, 35 yards, you're gonna, even if you're only shooting at a squirrel, you take a headshot, you're gonna hit it in the head. This one, you're gonna hit it exactly where you want to hit it. So, personally, I don't think I would spend that kind of money for my own personal use, but there's a lot of people that will. And this gun will end up going up for auction here very shortly. The previous 3 guns that I auctioned off from my website were no reserve. This one, because of the expense of it, I think I'm going to put a reserve of at least $350 on it. But I think the gun will go for more than that. But protect myself and the donors that have donated the money that bought this gun, to protect them, I'm going to put a reserve on this one. But it is an excellent gun. It is a super tack driver. Just keep it in mind that before you do a whole bunch of shooting, take your stock mounting screws out, put a coat of blue thread locker on them, get them real nice and tight, and then just let the gun sit for a day or two and let that blue thread locker dry up. And keep an eye on your front sight insert. Make sure that back piece stays screwed in tight. And like I said, I used pliers to tighten it up to make sure it wouldn't go anywhere again, because it just kept coming loose. I think that's a little something that they need to address, but as far as a good looking gun and a comfortable gun, very, very, very light trigger. That is my review of the Diana 350 N-TEC Magnum Premium Air Rifle. My name is Kenny Cormandy, and thank you for watching.